I
Excellent.
like my background. I think the background's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The fact that you're at the at you where you're training right now is really cool. And I was going to ask you about how that process is going.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, I guess, in the interview.
Definitely. And we're live, so we're gonna go ahead
Oh,
and jump in here, which is all good. Let's say what's up to everybody. How's it going? We are actually right on time for 7, which is cool. So
cool.
I'm imagining there's gonna be a bit of a delay, but it's all good because it is what it is. We'll have it go here. But what's up, everybody? This is Ryan Sanders with Project Fresh, and we have our very first special guest on us with us today. Pete, uh, just a great guy. I don't even know where to start as far as so many different things that come to mind when I think about you and just the opportunity we had to work together. What, 3-4 years now? I would say, has it been that long?
Yeah, yeah. I want to say maybe 5 years, something like that.
Five
Because right
years?
now, yeah, 'cause I remember something like that. We
Yeah.
worked together before with the Flex Your Faith.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. And the one thing about Pete, and I'll go ahead and have him say a few things about himself, but the one thing that stands out to me the most about Pete is I found a photo of you, and I think it was your son,
Mm.
and I could not find a photo of just you. You have all of your photos have someone else in there. The amount of care, the amount of love that this guy right here has for everybody in his life is just absolutely stellar. And I think we could sit here and talk a lot more about who Pete is, but I think that's the one thing that really stands out to me the most is how much he cares about the people around him, his family, those who he works with, anyone who he comes into contact with, and just really excited to have him on our live stream tonight. So with all that being said, welcome to our live stream, Pete. How's it going today?
Oh man, thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate it. Just on that side, I do have some single photos, but they're very rare. The reason why I guess I put a lot of people around me is because I'm powered by people. I think when you talk about like family and power, it's just a representation of what powers me. And I can't do it by myself. I think oftentimes that mantra of saying you do it on your own, you kind of get there, but for me it's the people that get you going, right? And so I guess in some subconscious way it's my way of representing myself, even though I'm with a group of people, because it's my way of showing that people is what makes me go, you know what I mean? And I do it for either for them or they fuel me to go forward, and it's about representing that. So I hope that answers that question of why is it like that for me.
Just something I noticed, man. I mean, the fact that you shared even more gives more depth to it, which is
Yeah.
awesome. So I appreciate you definitely
Yep.
giving us some depth on that. So how's the day been going for you?
It's been good. I've been just hanging out. I still have the session client right here. She's about to finish up her sit-ups. I have made her do 50 leg lifts followed by 50 sit-ups after. So she's doing a lot there. But she's been with me for a while. Nazifa has been with me for, I want to say 5-6 years now, but I usually have clients like that, clients that been with me for years. I guess because it's just the rapport that I built. I often kind of set this foundation of trust, friendship, and just that's pretty much how I've been doing it. And throughout the years, I've been having these people just been with me for so long. So blessed to have that rapport with them.
That's awesome. That's what it's about at the end of the day. We do provide a service. We sometimes provide products as coaches and trainers, but at the end of the day, it's all about the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's excellent. Well, and thank you for taking a little bit of time today
Yeah.
to jump on with us. So to give some background, well, we met through mutual friends, and Pete was hosting a Bible-led workout group on Saturdays. Being a Bible believer, both people Bible believers, we connected on that. But what I thought was really cool was it wasn't just a workout, it wasn't just getting in the word, it was the amount of encouragement and the coming together that made it so fun. And so that's how we met. Again, we were talking here at the beginning about 5 years ago, roughly. And I just wanted to say too that you know, our time together recently has been more evolved around Facebook and that opportunity. And I wanted to just kind of ask you a few questions about how things have been since sheltered in place and this new lifestyle that we're living. Because I remember we talked initially back closer to when it started. How has that process been for you as a coach, as a trainer, staying connected with your clients, doing what you do best? How would you say that's
Uh,
gone?
well, I think the one thing that I could say that really helped me a lot is that I pivoted pretty, hard. I wasn't supposed to jump into the online space and, in another year or so, just because I wasn't ready for it. I was kind of like ramping myself up to that, meaning that I've been doing like filming classes, or the other thing I do is I I I've been doing like workouts and things of that sorts. But then all of a sudden, when shelter in place and COVID hit, I was just like, oh man, I really got to get into it. And so I've kind of like took on, you know, uh, took on the reins of just getting online, and with your help too, Ryan, for helping me with the Zoom, because I didn't know about how to set up Facebook Live and all that kind of stuff. So with your help, you helped me get put that more exposure out there for me too. So I guess to answer your question about like what happened is basically when that happened, I got more online, and I still engage with my clients. Obviously I couldn't see them personally because we weren't really so sure what was going to happen with this whole like COVID thing. But um, the online thing really helped out a lot because it kept the engagement going. And when things start lining up, people were asking, can we go back into training again or doing something outside? And that's still kept my business going. I mean, I was really hit in the beginning of it because I didn't know what to do, but fortunately through the online stuff, that really helped out a lot. And on top of that, I was really hard on trying to do a lot of like philanthropic work, meaning I was all about trying to help people out, raise money, raise funds, and things of that sorts. And that seemed to kind of help me out too. Um, while I was raising money, I was also, getting sponsored through the classes as well. So that's how that worked out. I don't know if that makes all sense, but that's how I was able to kind of keep things going on my end.
Yeah, absolutely. And as far as the Zoom thing, man, I was just passing on what I learned myself. I think I had learned that maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks before I shared it with you. So
Yeah.
it was fresh enough to be new to me, but just enough to know that I could pass it on. You mentioned something just now that I've also found to be very impressive in what you've been working on is supporting other local businesses. And I think there's one particular gentleman, maybe a few other businesses, but particularly restaurants, right?
Yeah.
Another industry that everybody knows has been hit really hard, like our industry in fitness and health. The restaurant industry has been hit exceptionally hard in this time. And you've
Oh
been
yeah.
doing some serious work as far as fundraising for a couple restaurants, right?
Yeah. I think that feeling of like, man, when things were going really hard, not just for myself, but I also felt other people too. I just had this calling inside my heart to like, okay, let's just go out there, let's support, and because I guess through that process, it helped me too to kind of
Mm,
process what was going on. Because I think, I'm not a firefighter, I'm not a policeman, but one
mm,
thing I can do is I can actually, I guess, have classes to kind of get people that I know how to do very well, to get them involved and have them, like, I guess, contribute to this whole like thing. You know what I mean? And when I'm saying this thing, I'm talking about the workouts, the classes, the virtual workouts, and by them contributing to it, by donating, I was thinking to myself, let's take it a step further and just like let's help those businesses too. And through that, I just was able to gain traction and raise money for small businesses, especially restaurants, people that I know that who are clients of mine that own restaurants, that were going through it. So that was the first group of people that I helped out first, like my friend Winnie over at Chow Noodle, or TC Noodles. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but TC Noodles. And we raised like $400, $500, two rounds worth of that, so it's close to a
yeah.
grand already. So that was good. I think it helped her out, and because she felt like there's people that care for her. And the money that we raised for the food, um, she'd also donated that to like what do you call it, to frontline workers over at Kaiser. So it was
Nice.
our way of like giving back to them for the hard work they're doing, uh, for handling this pandemic at the time, and so yeah, so that's how it all get going. And so I'm still doing that, um, and yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Excellent. That's great, man. That's so great. I love how it just continues. The gift keeps moving forward. It keeps going from one person to the next, and
Yeah,
that's just so great. We need as much of that as we can get right now. I mean, even with obviously the current environment is more on the political side, but overall it's been more or less been that for the most part. And to have that kind of relationship, man, I think it overshadows everything else that we have in our reality right now. So
yeah, for sure.
it's
Absolutely. And I'm very blessed. I'm just it's just being able to do that. And again, I don't know, just my heart just was really, really tugging on it. I mean, God kind of put it out there, when he talked about like, do things, but do them with the heart, but do them with love, you know what I mean? And I guess through that, I found my purpose through this whole process, you know what I mean? Because I just can't sit around and just make things happen around me, or have things happening around me and not being able to do anything about it, so that's where that all came from.
absolutely, absolutely. That's good stuff, man. So one other question I had for you is with the process of kind of take us through how it was at the beginning, trying to figure it out with the clients, keeping them engaged, and now moving into where you're at now. How does that looked? And what have you seen in that process? Where have you seen your clients maintain their success? These clients you've been with for some time.
I guess it's just what I seen when I first started it. They feel like they're doing something for a reason. You know what I mean? On top of like working out too. I just recently got like I'm involved now with this device or this thing called MyZone. Have you heard of that?
I haven't heard of that.
So MyZone is basically like a like a prompter that you put around your thing that kind of measures your heart rate.
Okay.
So there's a lot of engagement there. So that's the new thing that I'm getting in. But to answer your question about what's kept them going to this point now, all the people or my clients, I guess a lot of it that keep them going is just that engagement of knowing that they're making a difference is one, and number two is just being very supportive through their process and listening to their own individual kind of thing. Because there's some times where I actually take the time to get to know what's going on with them right now and kind of see where they're at, and just having these kind of like private conversations with them. And because of that kind of, I guess that relationship that I built is kind of like, making them feel at ease and comfort with me. And in a way, I've kind of put in the hat of being a psychologist in some level, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And because of that, of course, I guess the fitness side is secondary, because they know that now they're, that they're doing things with me, and they can trust me. And I don't know, just through this whole process, they just feel safe, a lot of trust is into this. And so it's not like it hasn't been there before, but being that the current environment has its own little intricate dynamic to it now, that people have different needs and wants, and things evolve. You know what I'm saying? It's not like your typical, I got to work out to look good for summer. Obviously we can't have any, we don't have the summer because of the situation, because shelter in place, or they want to, it's a different kind of like motivation now. It's a motivation of just listening and just being where they are, and just helping them cope through the stress of what's going on right now through exercise. So
Absolutely.
that's what I guess that I'm providing them. So I guess I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, that's pretty much how I'm keeping them going. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's spot on, man. Because as you know, I've talked with a lot of people across the country, and prior to COVID shelter in place, they were having a regular routine. They were
yeah,
there maybe for the physical, but they found relationships, they found other things that kept them going. through that, didn't just become about weight loss, but it helped them maintain or lose. And I was talking to a
Yeah.
lot of people are like, I don't have the motivation to get myself going to lose the weight, to have the tone, to, those typical reasons why folks come to
Yeah.
work with us. And so what you were saying was definitely spot on in that case. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's a different motivation now. Like, I think like nowadays people, they do it for mental health, it's just different. I would say majority of my cases, or the clientele that I'm working with right now, it's just for mental health. Of course, they get the benefit of working out. That's the byproduct of it, and they get to look healthy and feel healthy. But more importantly, it's just being able to have an outlet. Gyms are limited, obviously, and it's kind of like, they can't do their routine that they had before. I belong to a MMA gym, so there's no contact no more, right? And so because of them having no contact, it's almost, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? And so that's part of what, actually, I would say majority of what I've been focusing on helping my clients do. It's just giving them that place, that safe space, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. And one thing I'll say too, what we've been covering so far this month on our live stream is the month of November, 25 days of gratitude leading up to Thanksgiving.
Mm.
And so every day we've been sharing about what we're grateful for, either individually or in our business, sharing that with everybody here on the channel, making that daily dedication for ourselves and bringing people along. What would you say you're most grateful for in this season right now? Grateful, thankful, and right now.
Spending time with family. I know that's a cliche thing to say, but before pre-COVID, I was really busy. I had a lot of things I got to do. I was always on the run, and sometimes you get lost in that that life that you forget about, like your family. And I guess through this process, I've learned how to be present with them,
Mm,
to also see the importance, and really flip my priorities around, because before it was like business, family, and then God, you know what I mean? And now
mm,
it's God, family, and then business. And because of that model and that priority, you know, I seem to still be okay. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I guess that's God's way of kind of reaffirming that, okay, you just, you have to have the foundation strong first, before that foundation of me there and your family there. That's the foundation you need to build on, because everything
yeah,
else is just secondary. So yeah. So
yeah,
I guess I get to answer that question again. It's just being grateful of understanding the priorities, and just being closer to the family, and having a better relationship with God. So that's the other thing too. Yeah.
absolutely. I appreciate you sharing that. The conversation we had a couple weekends ago, man, definitely helped me with my current work on perspective change. Some of the things I'm seeing in business and relationships, and with my wife, and trying to put this all together, relationship with Christ and prioritization. I think that was another word that we had talked about, was priorities, and how it all plays in together, and in any single day, essentially. So really appreciated that. Wanted to say that again to you, how much that
Yeah.
conversation was meaningful to me, and absolutely love what you're sharing here with the gratitude that you have for the day. And yeah, I didn't necessarily have any more questions for you at this point, man, but I definitely wanted to tell you that we're grateful for you jumping on with us today,
Oh,
sharing some
thank
good
you.
time with us.
Yeah.
I was looking through your Instagram, man. I love the photos of you and your wife and your kiddos for Halloween. That was pretty cool. Looked like you had some fun there.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty much encapsulates a lot of the the priorities that I'm talking about. Like that was an authentic moment. You know, it was a moment that I felt I was present. It was a moment that I felt like was pure, and those are the moments that I'm looking for now. Whereas before I would do those for picture purposes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I felt looking back at some of those pictures that I would take with my family, because at the time I was busy thinking about it. I just want to show them. But now that picture meant a lot. It has a deeper meaning to it.
Mhm.
So that's where I'm at right now. Is that I want to find more of those moments, and to really just really live in those moments more than anything else. Because I mean, it doesn't matter how much money I guess you make, and because at the end of the day, it's the question is who you're sharing it with, and you're not going to sit in the deathbed saying like, oh man, I could have made like $500 more. You're not
Yeah.
going to say that. You're going to probably say, I wish I had more time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing that really stuck to me. So I remember someone saying that in some kind of podcast, and I can't remember who, but that really stuck out a lot, because you're not going to think about, oh, I wish I had this much money at this time. And no, you're going to think about how much those precious moments you could have had with the family. So
Absolutely.
that's it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Love that too. Absolutely love that. So I do have one more question. How can I, myself, our company Project Fresh, how can we support you in the season moving forward? Finishing up this year, how can we be that extra level or layer, I should say, of support?
Well, community fitness is online. I'm actually building a website. My friend is helping me build a website. We're trying to get more in. We're trying to encapsulate more of this. I guess being more interactive as well as being more advertising. So, but basically it's community.com. It's COM3 Unity UNITY.com. And the reason why I put the 3 on the community is because it represents Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and then unity, and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I put that name in there. But the whole concept of community is to also embody people coming together and to also support the community. On top of you working out, you're working out for a purpose. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. So community with a 3, unity. I'll probably text it to you so you can see it. You can share it there. The website hasn't gone up yet, but that's one thing. Or you can look it up on Facebook because we have a group page. Same way as how you spell it. Look it up for the page. There's a community church which I'm associated with, but there's also community fitness, which is something. So if you're interested in joining there, you'll get the updates about the workouts that we're going to have throughout the week. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if you can make it there. I'd love it. And like I said, the workouts throughout the week are like HIIT. Sometimes it's strength and conditioning and kickboxing. So those 3 main things are kind of like circulated throughout the week. And yeah, it's free, but we do ask if you can donate, and that donation that you're going to put is for the Bless 'Em campaign, which goes into multiple organizations. And every month I want to have a Bless 'Em campaign, and then as the months go, we're going to tell you we're good donating to. So and yeah, so that's it.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, and what I'll do once we get this on the YouTube and on our Facebook page, we'll make sure we get that information in the description for everybody who's watching and watches in the future. I'll make sure I have it in the description for his Facebook page and also for the website once it's up and ready to go. So
thank you.
Absolutely, man. That's so awesome. And we'll have to definitely spend some more time catching up after this is over.
Yeah, for sure.
Continue to support you. But yeah, I try to keep these about 15 to 30 minutes. I started 30, went to 15, and we're right in that range. So go ahead and wrap up. You may have to run too. So just want to tell you how much we appreciate you. And it's been a pleasure to have you, Matt.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian Rutherford. I appreciate you, man. You're awesome too. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Absolutely.
Okay. God bless.
All right, guys. All right. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Monday, 7 p.m.